Hey everyone, welcome to the weekend. Welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. Thanks for joining me today. We look at jersey concepts every single Friday here on the channel. This one's pretty exciting because we're looking at an actual theme, a series. It's called Groovy Gradients, and the designer is Chris Wilson. We've looked at his work in the past. It's phenomenal. I'm really excited to kind of dive into this and look at these because I've not seen them before. It's going to be a reaction video. You and I can react together. And I think I'm going to concentrate more on answering the question, does this work versus do I like the design in general? Because I think maybe consciously I've always told myself gradients don't work more than they work. So I think it's more rare to have a gradient actually work in a jersey, but I don't know if that's actually the case. That's just kind of what I tell myself and what I think when I see, new jerseys with gradients, but maybe this video will change my mind a little bit. So at the end of the video, I'm gonna look back and see how many times I answered yes to the question, does this work? If it's more than no, then maybe I've been kind of thinking about this the wrong way the entire time. Either way, it's going to be a fun process to go through. So we've got 32 here, and we're going to go through one at a time. If you're new, this is the process that we do in alphabetical order as far as abbreviation. And if you guys want to play around with your creativity, you can go to sportstemplates.net. Check out the template that you're going to see in this actual video. You can use code post to post. That's going to save yourself 10% on it. There's also other templates on the site from other sports, but more importantly, there's free templates on the site. So if you've already got Photoshop and you want to play around and test your creativity with some free templates, absolutely go check them out on the site. I think there's a hockey helmet one. I think maybe there's a jersey texture or a puck one that's free. Either way, there's lots of free ones on the site, so please go download them and play around. If you come up with a set, please send them in. I would love to review, react, or rank them. Or if you want to get one of the paid ones, like I said, use code post to post, save yourself 10%, and also send in your designs. Would love to see them. All right, let's get into this. We've got Anaheim, not Arizona, Anaheim first. Let's go. What do we got? Okay. Well, let me just rearrange up my screen here real quick. Okay, so first impressions, I guess I wasn't picturing like a drastic gradient as far as color, more so like maybe black dipping to white or black dipping to like a gray or something, not like purple straight to green here. But you know what? I actually don't mind this at all. I think there's a little bit of confliction with the green in the logo. I don't know if you'd make that black or just, it's almost a little bit distracting. I think the gradient should maybe be the focal point of the color of this jersey, but the green in the logo is distracting me a little bit, but I like the design on the arms, the bottom of the jersey. This isn't what I would do for a gradient for Anaheim, but after seeing this, I really like this. This is a great start, actually. So a good first one here. And at the end, obviously, if you're new, I'll go back through and I'll give you my favorite at the end. Let's go. Arizona. Ooh, so I'm going to say no to that primary logo. I'm not really a big fan of that, but the gradient's very pretty, actually. It's almost a bit of that sunset kind of gradient. You've got some purples in there, some pinks, a little bit of reds. You get that natural gradient in during a sunset in the sky. And Arizona has, it's a state with possibly the most beautiful sunsets out there. And it's replicated quite well in this jersey, actually. So it works. I just don't love the primary logo on the front. Okay, next the Boston Bruins. Wow, this like immediately works for me. I don't love the color at the bottom. I hate the brown, but it's that transition from the yellow to the brown in that gradient that really actually does work for me. I don't know what color the pants would be here. Would they be brown? Would they be black? But yeah, I think it works also in the sense that the Boston Bruins are an original six team. So if they went to a Winter Classic and they used brown gloves or brown pants to get that old school kind of look, that original six look that they would have used 100 and whatever years ago, it works because it's Boston. So I think the transition to brown from yellow in here just works from that historical perspective as well. And you got the meth bear on the front. I mean, how do you not like the meth bear on the front? Okay, next up, the Buffalo Sabres. This one is interesting at the least. I don't know if I like it. I'm going to say that maybe this doesn't work. I don't love the yellow at the bottom. I kind of like the transition section, and I like the blue at the top. I am being thrown off a little bit. Maybe it's the blue stripes on the bottom that's throwing me off. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know down below in the comment section. I don't mind that logo on the front, though. I think I've seen more concepts where that logo looks not great on the front, but I think it actually does look okay here. Next, the Carolina Hurricanes. I I like this. Like every aspect of this, the shoulder patch being recolorized, alternate logo there on the front, which is I guess possibly the new primary on the home jersey. The way that the sleeves are designed as well. So it's not a full gradient where it comes down the entire jersey. It's just in the middle of the jersey. It's also a little bit subtle as well. The black into the red, a long period of transition. It's not like a stark contrast. So great transition there. But then the sleeves are just a regular striping. I mean, it goes from black to white to red essentially. Pretty starkly because it's just regular striping, and it looks good. It looks actually really good. This might be my favorite so far. Moving on to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think most people won't like this. I don't think this is plausible, but I love the injection of that lime green, lime yellow, kind of whatever color that is, into this brand. I think it would be so cool to kind of see that. So I'm going to answer the question, no, I don't think it works, but I personally kind of like selfishly want that. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. Moving on. The Calgary Flames, and Calgary's another one of those teams that could like just naturally get away with a gradient because of what they are. They're the Flames. Flames naturally have gradients. You've got yellows, you've got reds, you've got oranges, you even got blue sometimes in Flames. So to see the yellow transition up into orange, up into the red for this jersey, it just feels very, very natural. I think that's the best word I can use to kind of classify this jersey. It's very natural. The shoulder patch looks good up there. The A looks good. Don't love the logo on the front. It's okay. Not too bad. The striping on the arm as well is very nice. Cool stuff. Moving on. Wow. This is a little bit too aggressive for me. It's a very aggressive transition. I think it's a little bit too much. I'm going to say no. It looks like a fruit roll-up. Maybe that's just a Canadian thing. Do you guys have fruit roll-ups in the United States or elsewhere in the world? But when I was a kid, in the lunch, you always got a fruit roll-up, or what was the other one? What is it? Fruit by the foot. I think that's what it was called. Those didn't have gradients, but just thinking of snacks. But a fruit roll-up, like that looks identical to a fruit roll-up. And in that perspective, I do like it because I like sugar. But I don't think this works in an actual jersey. It does look a little bit out of place. Next, we got the Colorado Avalanche. Man, does that ever work? That's another thing that maybe comes natural. So to me, when I see this jersey, I visualize an actual scene. I'm thinking Colorado in the mountains, or not like up high in the mountains, but with some elevation. Maybe you got a bit of a lake, and it's just started to snow, and you get the white clouds. The entire sky is just all white from the clouds. It's not like specific defined clouds. It's just all that white kind of soft white, I don't know, like soft clouds. And then you get the snow just falling down. So in the distance, you can't even see the horizon. You can't even see the trees in the distance. You just look out over the water, over that lake, and you just see that beautiful natural gradient of white in the sky coming down into the blue of the lake. This makes me feel Colorado. I love it. I love everything about this. Maybe not actually the logo on the front. I think that's better suited for a shoulder patch. I think that the logo that's on the shoulder patch there in this concept would look great on the front. So just maybe swap those. Excellent gradient here. All right, moving on. We got the Dallas Stars. Okay, so yes, this works. And I know they're called the Stars, so you can put some stars in there. But I think this would work just like regardless of the team name, this would work. The green into the black isn't natural like maybe some of the others, but it does kind of look good because it's such a deep green of the jersey, and you've got the Mooderus logo in there, which looks amazing with some stars, but just that transition up into the sky, or the night sky, with some stars, like that's how it, again, I guess maybe it is a little bit natural. That's how it naturally happens at night. You get that bit of a haze close to the horizon, but then it kind of just branches up into some clear, open, and beautiful nighttime star sky. So yeah, I like this one actually. This one's cool. Okay, next, the Detroit Red Wings. I'm going to have to go with no, I think, on this one. Like, it's not bad. I just don't love it as much as the other ones. I think I'll probably maybe just leave it at that. Next, the Oilers. Maybe not this one either, actually. I think the contrast is the transition rather, is just a little bit too harsh. I would prefer that to be kind of spread out a little bit more and that transition take place over a bigger swatch of the jersey versus that little more thinner line. Again, I don't hate this, kind of like the Detroit one. There's nothing really egregiously wrong with it. I just don't think it works. I don't think this one works. Okay, next, the Florida Panthers. Oh my God, we've got serious Miami Vice vibes. This is a doozy. I don't think this is plausible, but I absolutely love it. I adore this. I adore this jersey. I would love for this to exist just from this perspective that it's completely different than anything else from any other hockey league that I can think of in my head. This needs to happen just from that angle. It's just completely different. I love it. Next, the Los Angeles Kings. The gradient is an interesting one, but I don't love it in conjunction with the rest of the jersey. The silver feels very out of place on the neck. It feels very out of place on the sleeves as well. Just two completely different kind of thematic or branding styles there. So I think it's too disjointed as far as combination between the two. The gradient's not bad though. Like I do think the gradient could absolutely work. A mix between their two original colors. I would just remove the silver or the gray entirely from this. Next, the Minnesota Wild. Okay, not bad. I was expecting maybe a little bit different of a design from the Minnesota Wild. I don't know exactly what. By the way, that A looks huge. I think I would make that A smaller. Shoulder patch looks good. That swatch that holds the numbers is good. I think it might be the red at the bottom that's throwing me off. That red line, just allow that gradient to kind of come down and meet the pants and just not have that red line there. Let's move on. The Montreal Canadiens. This is going to be a miss for me immediately. I'm always a little bit more critical of Montreal. I love the logo on the front. I really, really do. But the gradient in the background it's an interesting design because it's made to look almost out of focus. The regular striping in a way, but just completely out of focus, almost like an image. Yeah, I don't think this works for me personally. Okay, next, the Devils, absolutely, like 100% works. I don't love the rest of the jersey design. The numbers, having some gradients in it, I think I like it in the A. I don't like the way that the logo's done. Striping is hit or miss. But the actual gradient behind this jersey is perfect. I love this. When you think of the Devils, you think of hell, okay? You just do. And you think of the Devil down there in his fiery glory, and it just kind of like, the fire's just rising up, and then it just goes to darkness above. That's a great representation of that in this jersey. So I think he did a great job. And this is, not only I think this is plausible, I think it works and I think it looks good. Next, the Nashville Predators. Wow. You know what? This is actually a pretty decent gradient. I don't love the striping on the arms, but I like the numbers. I like the logo. I like everything else, just not the striping, I think. I think the gradient works quite well here. I think, works good. Let's move on. The Islanders. Oh, baby, absolutely this works because in the Islanders situation, I guess maybe is the right word, that they're right by the water, waves, ocean, that naturally has a gradient as light comes through it. So this is literally perfect. Like this may be one of the best Islanders concepts, fisherman style Islanders concepts I've ever seen. Great job on this one. Next, we got the Rangers. Oh my God, we've got a lateral horizontal gradient. I was not expecting this. I'm going to say this doesn't work. I think this doesn't work for my brain. I'm sure some people out there will like it, but it's just a little bit too out there for me personally. Next is the Ottawa Senators. I don't love the logo in the front, but I think that's a beautiful way that you've done the striping on the arms, the numbers on the arms, the colorization. The gradient looks good as well. I would remove the black stripe from the bottom of the middle, but everything else about this, I would change the logo, but yeah, this is a really, really nice arm design. I love those arms. Next, the Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, so I actually don't hate this. This one makes me curious to think about the pants. Would they be black? Would they be orange? Would they be white? I think white's going a little bit too much. I think this jersey I almost need to see this jersey in a uniform. I need to see the rest of the uniform to judge the jersey. I don't hate the jersey. I don't love the jersey. I don't know if I can answer the question, does it work or not? I think you guys need to do that. Does this Philadelphia Flyers one work? Moving on to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay, not bad at all. Just wondering a little bit if the top of the sleeve where you get the dark blue into the light blue, if that could gradiate up instead of that being that harsh line. So you've got the lighter blue into the darker blue in the middle of the jersey, then you've got the darker blue moving up into the lighter blue on the top of the arm. Keep the bottom of the sleeve blue. I think that looks really good. But I think that harsh line is playing with me a little bit. Oh, but I mean, regardless, this is a nice looking jersey. I think this does work. Next, we got the Seattle Kraken. Wow, that is an aggressive arm design. I'm going to say no. I think maybe this was a slight missed opportunity because, kind of like in the Islanders standpoint, gradient, water, blues, greens, teals, aquas, stuff like that, turquoise. I love the red, but I don't necessarily think that it works with their thematic here. I would like to see that be more of a darker blue down below, gradiating up into a lighter blue or the teal or something. But those arms are really throwing me off. I like when people think outside the box. I really appreciate this design, but it's not for me. Next, the San Jose Sharks. This was a surprise. I was expecting some orange in here for some reason. Okay, so I don't love that logo on the front. It makes it look like it's a road sign or something. So I probably remove that to the shoulder patch and put the other logo down there. But the gradient absolutely works. It's like the Islanders. It's like the the Seattle Kraken. Anything that's on the ocean, you're allowed to use a gradient that replicates water or the ocean or waves. So yeah, I mean, I think this, to answer the question, the gradient absolutely works here. We got the St. Louis Blues. I'm gonna say no. I'm going to say no because it's a little bit too harsh. Blue is such a bold color. Red is such a bold color. And I think those specific shades make it even more of a very apparent contrast between the two. I think the best gradient is the subtle gradient, one that you almost don't even realize that the transition is happening. Here, it's very obvious that the transition happens. The logo on the front's pretty interesting, though. This is an interesting mix of graphics and stuff. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So the Tampa Bay Lightning can do it because they've already done it. They've got that alternate that has a bit of a gradient in it. And I think they could absolutely make this work as well. Black up top looks good. The deep, darker blue down below looks awesome. The bolts on the front looks good. Even the striping along the bottom of the sleeves almost matches the angularity of the letters on front of the jersey. So this one's pretty good. I do like this one. This one definitely works. Next, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh my goodness. I was 100% expecting to say no. Like, I had it in my mind even before the video that gradients just don't work for Toronto. They don't work for Montreal. They don't work for Toronto. After seeing this, I actually really, really like this. Like, this might be my favorite so far, actually. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's the combination between the Toronto arenas, like classicness, the stripes on the arms, the little detail of the maple leaf there on the arm that's just colorized in black. It's not overly complicated with anything else. It's just a very simple jersey. It's a very subtle and simple gradient, a very classic design. Love the numbers on the shoulders. I can't believe I'm saying this. This might be my favorite. This actually, I think, is my favorite so far. I'm going to have to look back through them, but man, great job on this one, Chris. Next is the Vancouver Canucks. So Vancouver Canucks are also a team that are allowed to use gradients. They did it in the late 90s or early 2000s. Early 2000s, I think, maybe 2000, or no, up until 2003, I think. Anyway, they're allowed to use it. They did it in the reverse retro again. Here, I don't love the fact that I don't love the bottom of the arms. I would kind of just like to see that kind of transition all the way down. Black into yellow is an odd gradient. It looks, this one's tricky. I don't know about this one. I don't know if this works. I'm going to say no, actually. I like the logo. I think this has potential. I might have to see a redesign on this, but for right now, I'm going to say no. Okay, the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm going to say no on this one as well. I don't love the logo on the front. The transition feels a little bit awkward because it's not the gold. It's like a muddy, kind of almost weird dough kind of color. I'm going to say no on this one. I'm going to move on. I'm going to say no. Next, the Winnipeg Jets, absolutely. This is a great example of a very subtle gradient. The two shades of blue aren't that far off, so that transition just happens very naturally to our eyes visually. Everything else looks good in this jersey. Wouldn't change a thing. This is a great job. Next, and then the last is the Washington Capitals, and this is very stripe heavy on the arms. I think I'd keep the arms the way that they are, but I would remove the stripes in the middle bottom of the jersey. Everything else is great. I think the gradient actually does look pretty good. I need to cycle back through these and pick my favorite. I think I know what it is, but I still want to look. Give me a minute. Yeah, I think it's the Toronto one. I look back through them all. There's so many actually incredible designs in here, but I think I'm going to go with the Maple Leafs objectively. I love everything about this. Like this specific design, the gradient, there's literally not anything that I would change about his design here. So I think he knocked this one out of the park. Now to think about the question, or think about, how many times did I say yes? How many times did I say no? I think I said yes more than I said no. So maybe gradients do work more than they don't, and I was just fooling myself this entire time. I'll have to be a little bit more open-minded going forward, I think, to gradients. But how do you guys feel? Let me know down below in the comment section. Would love to hear your thoughts on just gradients in general, let alone the designs. I would love to hear and see your feedback down below in the comment section of these specific designs that Chris made. But I would love to know your opinion on gradients in general. Would you like to see more in the NHL? Would you like to see them go away forever? It just doesn't belong on a hockey jersey. Let me know. email. I read all the comments. Hope you guys are what? I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. If you're on the East Coast of Canada like me, I hope hope you're well this weekend. As you got a hurricane coming in. Hope you're prepared. You got your storm chips. You got your generator. Got lots of water, all that stuff. Man, hope nothing goes wrong for you. I'm going to be out in Fredericton tonight, filming a little bit just from the Fredericton perspective of how this hurricane is going to impact here. It shouldn't be too bad. I don't think we're getting a ton of rain. I think it's going to be pretty windy, but obviously not anything to do with or comparable to Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, PEI. So yeah, I'm going to try and film a little bit from tonight from Fredericton. Maybe I'll throw that up as a member video or something, or a Patreon video, or maybe I'll decide to actually release it. And I'm hoping that I can get my friend Chris in PEI to film some footage of the hurricane going over there too. I think it should be a Category 1 or Category 2 as it passes him. So hoping to get some footage. Yeah, I'll maybe talk a little bit about that next week if I can compile some footage and stuff and tell a little bit of a story. Also, a lot of you have been asking for me to show off Fredericton, where I live, a little bit. Not the best scenario to do it in a hurricane and at night here, but maybe at least you get to see some of the city and see where I live. So yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry for that little bit of a ramble there at the end. Hope you guys are going to have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you tomorrow and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday for all kinds of videos. Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.